Hey everybody, Mike here. Things have been a bit crazy this week with Dauntless releasing in theaters and on VOD, so we unfortunately didn't get a chance to put together a behind-the-scenes video for you this week. But we will have one for you next week covering our VFX, why we did things, and some of our process. So you can see why we made certain decisions and our rendering and shots and things of that nature. So this week, we're going to reach into the Bayou vault and pull out a little video Jason and I did for our first feature film, Fortress. Hope you enjoy it.
We are the producers of the movie Fortress.
Do it that way? Aren't you going to do it like the whole voice modulation thing? That was your voice modulation?
My voice modulation.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting.
We are the producers of Fortress. Due to some of the comments posted about the inaccuracies of our film, we had to disguise ourselves in our...
You should do the actual voice modulation.
How are you supposed to do?
Well, you don't talk normal. You do it in post.
I don't know if there's a preset for that.
We're the producers from Fortress. Due to some of the comments on the inaccuracies of our film, we had to disguise ourselves in our identities. What? We're trying to do something here, man! No. What? No, you gotta turn that off.
What inspired you most to make this film?
Both our backgrounds are in television, a lot of History Channel, Nat Geo programming, and Jason was DPing them and I was producing a lot of them, and we were putting tens of thousands of dollars of effort and work for other people into these things. You know, we basically set up some pretty interesting shots that the audience was never seeing, and like, well, this is the same production we were doing on movies, so why not do a movie?
What were some of the difficulties in producing a feature, of this type at this budget level, though?
Well, where do we begin? Locations, obviously. Those can be really expensive. We were supposed to be shooting in the desert of North Africa, and we had to settle for a ranch in Agua Dulce.
Tents surrounded by mountains and hills, which doesn't exactly scream the deserts of Algeria.
Yeah, there was a lot of post work we had to do for the tent scenes, getting the background to look like a North African desert and not look like somewhere in the middle of Agua Dulce, Southern California, was definitely one of our most challenging feats that we had to overcome.
How many visual effects did you have in this film?
Almost every single shot at some point turned effect shot, whether it was doing our best to remove trees from the background of shots, or all of our tent shots. We would think those wouldn't be visual effects, but you would looking out the door. And we did those in a warehouse with a white screen out there, and then if we could, we'd throw in a tent or someone walking by just to help kind of open it up a little bit.
Did you put a lot of research into the story of the Fortress, the men who flew these things? Did you have the opportunity to speak with these people? What was the background that you did to come up with the story?
There is no actual lucky lass and there is no crew, but the experiences in the air and a lot of the experiences on the ground are not Hollywooded up. They are actual anecdotes that were relayed to us through vets.
There's volumes and volumes of documentation on crews, bases, missions, interactions, with a combination of Jason McKinley's live interviews with actual vets and with Adam Klein, our writer's research that he did. We came up with, I think, a pretty authentic storyline. Actually, I had some comments recently. It's like, oh, I didn't realize this, bombing in Italy. And it's like, yeah, we were, USA, 1943.
The brass and the politicians have finally sorted out the specifics for this operation, because today, gentlemen, we are hitting Rome. This is to be a...
People did die, and nobody knows about it. Now, the thing that I definitely feel about this movie, that what we tried to portray was the fact that this existed. And in the end, that's what we wanted to try to relay, is this story that we just don't feel has ever really been told.